headphones. It is what it is. Sorry. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, my hot mess of a channel. I hope that it is safe and warm wherever you are. Today we're actually going to do things a little different here. If you're looking for any of the other Halloween and horror material, you can find all that in some playlists that I've sorted out on the channel. I probably should have different channels for different things, but that's too complicated for me. I just want things nice and simple and easy, and it's like 60 degrees here, but we also still have snow on the ground. So I'm in my cool basement with my fireplace heater going, and I just wanted to have a chat about a nice DVD thrift haul. I have had bags of DVDs piling up for months and months, actually. I've actually done some thrift haul videos about some trash to treasure and some Halloween decorations and some sewing projects where you could see all that if you want to see it again. I guess I'll link all kinds of information if you're interested down in the information. But every time I went to the thrift store, Salvation Army, Goodwill, every time I perused the DVDs, of course I always had to come home with 1 or 2 or 10. So I kind of have a vague idea what's in here, but then I kind of don't. I know what I've purchased recently, so I guess I could start there. I did get some nice gifts as well, some video hauls. Hi, Claudius. This was one, actually, I kept seeing in the thrift store, like disc 1 and disc 2 or disc 4, but every time I went to my regular thrift store, I would see a different video of Hi Claudius as opposed to the whole set, and I kept saying to my husband, well, I guess I could just buy it. And then so I had a birthday. I don't want to discuss what the number was, we won't talk about that, but so my husband got me Hi Claudius, and get yourself someone who will get you The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert on Blu-ray. Some of these I have reviewed on my blog at I Think Therefore I Review, and some of these films also I've actually recently reviewed at In Session Film. So I'll link all the information for the videos that I have reviewed. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about every single thing individually because I know I will never finish, and this would end up being a ridiculously long video, which I thought it would be short, but now that I'm looking at the pile, I still think it's going to end up being a long video, sorry. But I have reviewed these, and as you can see, this was actually $8. Can you see the little sticker? And the book is kind of damaged, like this kind of slip cover I can just tape together. And this book, actually, the back is kind of ripped on the book, so the book is a little wobbly, but all the videos are here. So, I mean, this is like a couple $100 set, and for $8, like, yes please. That will be pretty awesome. And, okay, now, I'm going to have to rearrange my shelves to fit all these things in this pile, but I do also want to share. Was this also $8? Yes, this was also, this giant thing here was also $8. Ooh, it's hot because it was near my fireplace. And I know this is a DVD thrift haul that I'm talking about. I have curbed myself in the records department, but I saw this for $8 and it was just too cool to not have. And you know, I redid this studio in more of a dark shadows kind of gothic kind of horror kind of theme, and I have other posters like this that I haven't put out, so I do think on the occasion maybe when I do need some kind of background, this poster can also suffice. I didn't really have a place in mind of where I was going to hang it, so, but I feel like it can move around to where I need it to be, so that is always awesome for $8. It's nice and framed. You probably couldn't buy the poster itself for $8 these days. I don't know anymore. Sorry. Big mess. This is just going to be a wild hot mess video chat. Sorry. Den of Thieves. I got this for $5 at Big Lots. This is not actually thrift haul, but I just had a Gerard Butler Top 10s Essentials list at In Session Film. So, and oh, Chasing Mavericks actually was a $4 purchase a $4 Blu-ray at Goodwill, which was awesome. So I like Chasing Mavericks. This was included on my top 10 Jared Butler list. But I actually did have a few comments on Twitter saying I didn't include Den of Thieves. And I said, well, actually, I just got the Blu-ray. So that was kind of funny. Oh, and, you know, it may seem strange, like secondhand, I guess, department stores nowadays, some people may think, where do you buy physical media anymore? You know, because there aren't video stores. But, you know, you can always find the kind of offbeat kind of rack. You never know what you're going to find. And, you know, the thrift store. This was $4 is what's on the tag, which to me is a steal for a Blu-ray. But many of these were $3 or less, especially if you go by the sale colors of these Goodwill tags. Some of these were $2 or even $1, which is really, really, really awesome. I am cheap, but I am a physical media collector. So I like Chasing Mavericks. That is on my top 10 list, and I will link some of this information below as well, as I said. So I have no idea what is in here. I'm randomly looking. Oh wait, I've got some Fassbender in here. Oh, hey Frank. This is such a cute little movie, and I feel like it completely slipped under the radar, and I didn't have it on Blu-ray, and again, I was so surprised. And hint also, if you are going thrift shopping, always make sure that the discs are in there, and particularly with Blu-ray, you know, make sure they look okay. You know, sometimes they're not beat up or scratched up or mucked up. But again, for a couple dollars, this was a charming little movie. I really enjoyed this one. And Jane Eyre, see, this says $1.99. I might have paid $1 for this. I spoke about this one in a classic horror reading, a gothic romance reading video that I did for a while ago now at horroraddicts.net. I really enjoyed this adaptation by Carrie Joy Fontanagua, Mia Wasikowski. I'm terrible with name pronunciations, so I apologize if I get those wrong. I like this one, and it's one of those, sometimes when I'm in a thrift store and I see a movie that I love, I automatically want to reach for it, and I think to myself, wait, do I already have it? But when it's only $1 or $2, I'm like, well, there are times I have come home with duplicates and I don't feel so bad. The Bionic Woman, where I kept missing those I, Claudius discs. I kept seeing one and the other. I was totally amazed to see here bagged all together, all 3 seasons of The Bionic Woman for $10 was the sticker price on this, which again, I don't think you could buy online for this. Fun little show. I love this show. Again, television shows especially, I'm more apt to get box sets because sometimes they're streaming and then they disappear, or other times there's different rights issues with if they're on some of the retro over-the-air stations. So this was a complete boon to get the Bionic Woman. I feel like I need to talk about each one, but at the same instance, again, like I said, I'll never get done if I keep talking about every single one. Dynasty, $5. This is Dynasty Season 2. So this wasn't the complete series, but that's okay. When you're looking for some kind of hot mess scandal, Dynasty is one of the shows that's a go-to for craziness. The second season of the show here actually is when things start to get really, really juicy. The first season of Dynasty is actually much more dramatic and slightly more serious, and then they add Alexis Carrington and things start to get really, really crazy. This isn't the season that has Adam Carrington in it, where he's, you know, trying to kill people with toxic paint. But this is a really fun romp of a show. You know, for $5, you could walk into the store and, you know, pick out something for your weekend marathon. And I have also done Dynasty in some of my comfort binge lists as well. I think I should rearrange this pile. I'm going to be surrounded by toppling DVDs here in a minute. Oh. Okay. Full disclosure, I can't lie, there's a lot of Guy Pearce in these bags. I know that there's probably a few people at In Session Film that are completely guffawing that they're not surprised by that right now. But last year I wrote a top 10 op-ed about some Guy Pearce films. And when I went back to look in my videos, I found that I still had a lot of things on VHS. Maybe up until 10 or 12 years ago, I was still taping things off TV on my DVD VHS, the double-decker. So then with that kind of nugget in the back of my mind, every time I was going to the thrift store, when I saw a video, I was getting it. So I'm just going to completely toss these aside into the pile. This really cracked me up, though. I do have to admit, I had to get this again. For this, I know was on sale for $1 when I got this. This is the limited edition DVD of Memento, and this is the one that there's a nice little quiz kind of Easter egg where you can play the film forwards. And I was so tempted to like give this as like a gag gift to my father because I know how much he loathes this movie, and I absolutely adore it. And I remember them giving me this for Christmas 20 some years ago when, you know, DVDs were $25, $35. They were expensive, and my parents were like, now you can go watch this movie on a computer so we don't have to keep repeatedly watching it with you. And you know, it just amazes me that I felt this was so indicative of like the times where now many people consider DVDs worthless when, you know, $1 when they used to be so expensive and so valuable. Soldier. This was another one I think I had on VHS a long time ago. And I love how this does have some loose connections in the Blade Runner Alien universe. And this is I think a really great little science fiction movie. I have written about this one as well. And speaking of Kurt Russell, at a Stargate, this one was also $1. And this I definitely know I had on VHS way back in the day because I watched it quite a bit. And I still find this a very fun, entertaining movie. And this is actually some kind of ultimate edition. That's the kind of thing, though, when you are... For one, you can't go to the thrift store looking for a specific DVD that you'll never find. You just have to get the luck of the draw when you see something that's exciting to pick it up. But then there are also lots of different editions of films. So, again, you can't be particular about an edition sometimes, but this is the ultimate edition for $1. So it's got a whole list here of some kind of a bunch of extra features and everything. So that's sometimes exciting when you kind of luck into something even extra special. And I'm sorry, this pile is going to get out of control. Clash of the Titans. I know there was some kind of new version of this, but I am a sucker for Ray Harryhausen stuff. Sorry, folks. This one was also $1, and this was one of those... I kept thinking, did I have it already, or didn't I? Because, okay, I am a Sean Bean collector as well, and I love this movie. I love the chase scenes in France. I feel like this is kind of maybe underrated again, or forgotten now, being just... I think it's a really great kind of espionage thriller. You know, what's in the case? Is it explosive? Is it chained to some unlucky bloke's wrist? Haha! I finished one bag. Okay, literally one bag was like half bag pierced. Okay. No. One more. One more bag to go, folks. Hold on. Now this one, I think I may actually have sorted these at one point, that these may be more classics in here. We shall see. Ah, magnificent. I did get this one more fairly recent because I remember the cashier going, oh, The Magnificent Seven. Love these movies, love the show. I actually was very disappointed in the new version that had been made, which I have also reviewed that. And a lot of classic movies, oh, here we go, like The Quiet Man for $1 is another one that, again, there's a lot of different editions, and I could have sworn that I had it already. And when I came home with this and was looking around at my collection, I actually have more John Wayne videos, VHS, DVDs, and Blu-ray than anybody else, but nobody ever accuses me of being obsessed with John Wayne. You know. But I couldn't find it, and for $1 I got it again. And I tend to trade videos a lot with my father and my father-in-law and my grandpa. So these kinds, I feel like even if I have duplicates for $1, they can go to whichever household, you know, again, fun, entertaining evening of classic cinema. Oh. Jane Eyre. Look, this is Jane Eyre with Charlton Heston plus The Taming of the Shrew. And, like, this is from alphavideooldies.com. I've never heard of this. I thought that I was versed enough in Charlton Heston. I've also written about Charlton Heston at In Session Film. I've never heard of his version of Jane Eyre. And when I got this, I was like, I'm really looking forward to watching this. And 6 months later, I found it again in this bag. This is obviously some kind of low budget dollar kind of video, but you know, sometimes that's the only way you can find classics. A lot of classic videos. This is why I cling to VHS, because, you know, I was just speaking about some Montgomery Clift films that aren't available on DVD either. Some things were never put on DVD, or they're just limited release, or they go out of print. So when you have the classics, you have to hold on to them. So, and then you can find something that could be wonderfully great or terribly bad and pathetic, but I won't know until I actually watch it. More John Wayne. The Shootist and El Dorado. Great movies. These are ones that I knew that I had on VHS that needed to be upgraded. And again, these, if they weren't $2, they were the $1 half off. And they're great movies. I love them. El Dorado is really basically Rio Bravo redone, but we're not going to quibble. That's okay. I have done ironically, because I've gotten all these John Wayne Westerns, I did do a John Wayne piece at In Session Film about a bunch of non-Western John Wayne films. Yes, he wasn't always a cowboy people. I recognize this sticker as being a, like, Borders or Barnes & Noble sticker. And this one was actually completely sealed. It's amazing when you find ones that are still wrapped in the plastic. And so you can see this actually, if you can you see the sticker? Sorry, this originally retailed for $14.99, and oh wow, 40% off, and I probably paid $3 maximum for this. And again, an exceptional film. I have written about this one a while ago now, several years ago now at least. I have to find it, the review for it, and I, again, will link all of the things that I'm speaking about here. And if you want to hear me talk about a specific film that I'm kind of glossing over right now, you know, please feel free to like and comment. I actually got a couple more likes and shares on one of my more recent videos, and I was kind of surprised by that. So if you want to converse more or see more videos like this, feel free to let me know. But I wrote about this one in detail because this film is very heartbreaking. You know, made immediately after the war with real war veterans, and you watch this movie made in 1946, and you see the difficulty of veterans returning to home life, and you know how they can't get loans and have to deal with, you know, their injuries, and in some ways you feel like nothing has changed, and it's really sad. And I feel that way every time. I may have even reviewed this maybe like 10 years ago when I first started the blog, and even thinking of it now, nothing has changed. So you know, that's just why classic film is important because it is just such a reflection of the times. High Society. I know that Zita Short at the 300 Passions podcast, she and I were having a debate somewhere, probably Twitter, somewhere a long time ago, about Philadelphia Story versus High Society, you know, musical remakes. So it's actually been a very long time since I've seen this. And again, it's one of these, you can tell that it's like a really old kind of DVD release. Oh wait, there was a... Oh, that's funny. This is a little old ad for Turner Classic Movies, and it's got like AOL all over it. Okay. And a very old DVD release. And you know, a lot of classic films aren't streaming places either, so sometimes DVD is the only place to find them. So I will have to give this one a rewatch soon as well. Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Again, this is one that I saw and I grabbed because I thought, I know I don't have a DVD edition of this. And again, $2. This does say it has some sinfully special features on it. And I'm sure there's probably different video versions of this. Oh, that's so funny. You know, I don't actually have anything horror in this. I know some folks may have found me through some frightening flicks that I've done. But I think people who buy horror videos probably keep them. Or what I saw in the store, I probably already knew that I had, so I didn't buy. So I actually don't have any horror in here. This is the closest thing that I may have to horror in here. But yet, so you think sometimes maybe someone passes away, or people just are trying to unload, they're going to everything streaming or digital, where they get rid of their DVDs. But then you feel like somebody does care. Because this person, can you see that? left a nice little smiley face sticky note in the Rocky Horror Picture that says, watch the UK version. And folks know. That's so funny. That's so funny. So you never know. You know, I really enjoy when I find some thrift books that have bookmarks or writing left inside of them. But then every once in a while, somebody leaves you a note in a DVD at the thrift store. Okay. The Great Escape. Haha. You know, I like Steve McQueen, but I always feel like I haven't really seen a lot of his filmography. I always feel like this is probably, because I think, you know, I had this on a double VHS as a kid, and I don't think that I ever finished watching the movie. So, again, $2. I can finally, actually maybe finish The Great Escape. We'll see. Oh. Two Women. Sophia Loren. I love how you wouldn't know the title of the movie because the entire cover is just all Sophia Loren, and then way down at the bottom it says Two Women. There is actually Christmas stuff in here. Okay, it is February. I don't know why it's 60 degrees in February. I am wearing Halloween pajamas still, folks. Okay, deal with it. And yet now I'm finding Christmas stuff in this bag. Michael Bolton, This Is the Time, the Christmas album. I don't love Michael Bolton. My mother had the cassette of Time, Love, and Tenderness that she used to play repeatedly in the car, and one day my sister and I groaned so much that my mother ejected the tape, rolled down the window, and threw the cassette out onto the road. And I think that's what I was thinking when I got this. I haven't done as much during the pandemic times, but I used to actually do dedicated Christmas series, reviewing films, reviewing music. I'm actually going through some Christmas records. And this one apparently I missed, so I'll have to wait till next Christmas to listen to this Michael Bolton. White Christmas, as opposed to Holiday Inn. A Christmas Carol. This actually looks a little beat up, this one, but again, it was $1 when I bought it. Everyone was angry with me when I did a top 10 A Christmas Carol list. I guess it wasn't this Christmas, it was the Christmas before at In Session Film, because I did not have the Muppets Christmas as my number one, which I started the article in the introduction by saying, okay, the Muppets Christmas Carol is kind of the absolute top, and then here is the other 10, maybe ones that are different, more unusual. And I do love this George C. Scott version. This year I actually just did the, big shocker, the Guy Pearce A Christmas Carol for HorrorAddicts.net. Well, I guess this Christmas that just passed, not this coming Christmas. But the Patrick Stewart version, the George C. Scott version, the Alistair Sim version, I love A Christmas Carol. I love the original Dickens. So I never get tired of this. And again, when you probably would want to find this on TV in December is when it would not be available. So now I have the DVD. My piles are getting a little crazy. I have a couple other different VHS that have Gene Hart on them. That's how far back I'm going with being a Flyers fan. This is apparently some kind of 40th anniversary video, complete coverage of historical moments, and Broad Street Bullies, the Spectrum, the Flyers Wives Carnival, which I would probably really enjoy watching this in maybe like September to warm myself up for the beginning of next season, because right now this season is like pathetic. Very pathetic. There was my sports review that you just got in the middle of my bonus here. Oh, Slapshot. Again, another one that I did not have, whatever this 25th anniversary special edition video is. Great film. It's one of all, you know, HUD I have discussed at In Session Film is my favorite Paul Newman movie, but there is something to be said for Slapshot. It's one of the few films that I've seen that actually gets, you know, hockey on ice correctly, because it actually has people who play hockey in it. And it's amazing to find when you find out this is actually written by a woman, the sister of a hockey player. and because some of the things that are said in this movie are very inappropriate today. They're still very shocking and surprising. Excellent film. I highly recommend it. Ah, Down with Love. This is another film that I think you have to be familiar with, like 60s pillow talk type of films in order to appreciate the kind of pastiche that's happening in this. Very cute, very goofy, fun little movie. I'm not a romantic comedy fan, but I like that this does that kind of nudge nudge, wink wink, kind of split screen innuendo. Okay, I have two more. I reviewed Appaloosa a while back. I was really surprised. I thought it was just going to be a Western, you know, standard kind of fare, but I was actually really impressed with it. Viggo Mortensen and Ed Harris. And I really think The Quick and the Dead is really underrated. Actually, I really think it's a charming movie. Early Russell Crowe, Sharon Stone. So I do like Westerns. Again, Westerns, I probably have a lot of older Westerns on VHS that I'm progressively looking to upgrade. Now, I have to figure out how to get this pile on these bookcases. When I did the videos for redecorating here in my basement because I needed more shelving storage, I was excited that I went with larger bookcase shelves instead of slim media shelving, so that way I could in the future double stack. But I was glad that I had space to grow, and now I actually am kind of already maxing out this space. So I have to rearrange these shelves, and this is nice and toasty here by the fire, at least while I work. So, and let me know if there is something here that you want to see discussed in more detail, if you're interested in seeing more videos like this. I'd love to hear from you. It's really great when I get a lot of positive feedback. It's always kind of like really surprising and touching when I get some positive feedback. So I'd love to hear from you. And I have a lot of videos to organize, and I have a lot more movies to watch. Oh, dude.